Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, Craig here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Cody and he's selling his Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Cody, and how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, man.
Well, it's great to have you here, and I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. So it's an Amazon FBA business in the pet care and home niches, created in August 2017. The average monthly revenue for the business is $36,406 and makes an average of $7,868 net profit each month. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 47726 to learn more about the business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. Now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's have a look at what's included in the sale. We have an Amazon Seller Central account with 27 SKUs, an email list of over 432 subscribers, trademark, SOPs and detailed systems to run the business, supplier contracts and relationships, and it's important to note that inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to active buyers. Okay, Cody, now I'd like to hear from you. Can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Well, actually, my background is chiropractor. And I built from scratch a chiropractic office, seeing 300 patients a week with 7 employees. And I did that for 15 years. So I have quite a bit of experience in organization and leveraging things out and how to get things to run on its own. My first time doing Amazon business, I spent a year and a half. I sold that chiropractic office and I dedicated a year and a half of my life to figuring out how to put those same detail organized systems in that allow a business owner to work on the business, not in the business. That was my main purpose of starting this business. And so with where I am now, this business requires all day on Monday and Tuesday morning, and you're done. That's how much energy I put into maintaining this business now. You know, the first year and a half, though, was 16-hour days trying to figure out how to run all of this and how to organize it. But as you said, I've taken the systems from my last business and put it into this one. So I've got detailed what's called routing forms. Every product has a checklist, you could say, a routing form. So most business owners, when they run a business, they keep everything in their head. And that's what keeps people small. This business has all the checklists and routing forms to either do it yourself or pass to someone else, which I would recommend. So you could bring a VA on and they could follow these checklists. And I did have one person help me build this as an independent contractor. And we no longer need her because she was working 4 hours a week. There's just nothing else to do. The products are seasoned. They run themselves. And might I say, I also purposely picked products that don't require customer service. And we can talk more about that if that's something you want to talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you can talk about it now if you wish.
Sure. I quickly found, and if whoever's listening to this, you know, and they have an Amazon business, you'll understand this. You have a factor of how much profit you make and money you make. It's a big factor. But there's another factor called time. So if someone made $1 million in profit, but they had no time during the week for their family, no time for enjoyment, I don't believe that $1 million is worth it. And so every one of my businesses I build now, time is part of that factor. So I purposely built this to give me time. Right now, I'm sitting in my camper van and I started to travel around Colorado and I can run this from anywhere. I actually went the first year was in Italy, Spain, France, as I was building this business, because as you know, you can run it from anywhere. The challenge is people will pick products that are very customer service oriented and heavy, meaning something like, for example, electronics. I'm not saying someone shouldn't do that. But personally, for me, there's too much customer service. There's too much that can go wrong. I did have a product. My first product was electronic and water. And holy cow, man. I mean, for very little profit, I was answering a lot of emails. So the products we have now, I'm not kidding you. I launched 60 products. I whittled it down to the 27 that are on this listing because those 27 not only are very profitable, but they don't require time. I answer about 4 customer service emails a week. So I don't have a VA to do customer service because they don't need one. So that's really the purpose behind this. That was my goal, was to create a business like this. And so that's a little bit behind that, man.
Absolutely. That's a great story. And I'm sure that'd be very, very desirable to an interested buyer. So you went from working in chiropractor. So how did you come up with the idea to start this business in particular?
You know, when you see 300 patients a week by yourself, and I had 7 employees, but that was the only doctor. I loved what I did and I was passionate about it. But you start really wanting to not just time for yourself, but you start wanting to like have some freedom. And I realized I'm more of an entrepreneur than I am a doctor. And I enjoy running a business, not necessarily being in it. So I'm really good at actually structuring the business, growing it, hiring, training. I mean, I'm phenomenal at that. I was seeing 24 patients an hour. And when you do that, you know, you basically realize people rely on you. And I kind of didn't like that I had to be somewhere for someone. And so my whole idea was to build a business where I didn't have to be somewhere for someone. And that's exactly what we have now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of online business owners can definitely relate to that story. So for this business in particular, how does it primarily make money?
So 100% on Amazon. There's all kinds of other things that people try to get you to do when you go through coaching for a business like this. And part of it is building a Shopify site, doing all those extra things. But what I found is that focus is key. So I focused 100% resources on Amazon. So I also don't have to manage multiple things. So 100% Amazon income.
Absolutely. That makes total sense. So yeah, how come you chose the Amazon business model?
Primarily because what I was saying, I've been in the service business, which is very employee heavy, and time constraints are huge because you've got to be there for someone. Amazon is the world's largest retailer. Walmart.com is a very distant second. And I wanted to sell from anywhere in the world. And so it just made sense to build your business on the world's largest online platform. And this summer is going to be a record summer for me. And so I almost was like, oh man, I'd love to keep this business. But a lot of people say that Amazon is risky. But if you look at the statistics right now, we're in the world, like probably one of the biggest crises of our time. And the number one stock that is just increasing is Amazon. So numbers don't lie.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great to hear that you're still being successful during this pandemic. So the FBA business is in the pet care and home niches. How come you chose those niches in particular?
Because of the reasons I just stated before. I didn't necessarily pick the niche because of any kind of passion. I picked products that required no customer service. That's my simple answer. There's no other reason to it. I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm in love with something. It's a big issue when a business owner falls in love with their product. Because this is why if someone is not doing well, they won't get rid of it. They keep spending money. So mine was solely focused on, and this is important, someone looking at buying this business, it is based on you having freedom and time and not having to spend time managing electrical issues and water issues. And like my stuff is, let's call it dummy proof. The products I have, you don't really get them and go, oh my God, it's broken, or I need to fix something. It just doesn't happen. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great for them. And so considering how well the business is doing, how come you're deciding to sell it at this point?
Yeah, good question, man. For the sake of whoever's listening, I follow my intuition and I have a big, big drive to teach seminars. Right now, I have a second business where I coach entrepreneurs and I do live seminars, I do online coaching, and I'm passionate about it. I love it. So I kind of got an intuition that, when you start thinking about, I'm 41, and this is my second business, you start thinking about getting to the end of your life, which I'm not now, but obviously just thinking about it. I was sick in 2019, I went to China as I was sourcing these products. I got a parasite and I had Lyme's bacteria at the same time, and I was sick for 16 months. I was in bed for 3 months. I'm an incredibly fit, healthy, active person, and I'd lost my cognitive function for almost 8 weeks and couldn't walk. And so you start getting perspective when you're in a situation like that. I went from being cocky to somewhat humble. I'm not saying I'm totally humble. But perspective was, when I leave this planet, what is it that I want to leave? And I've got that other business where I want to leave some of the passions that I have about teaching, igniting, inspiring, and like teaching my business training to other entrepreneurs. That's what I'm going to leave. And that's honestly the reason I'm selling. There's no other reason. I mean, like I said, I work Monday and Tuesday morning, and the rest of the time I've got to fill my time with the other business because there's nothing else to do in this business. Wow,
that's an inspiring story, and I'm glad you pulled through that rough time. So It's great to see that here. Is there anything you learned from this business that you'll apply to future sites or businesses?
To be honest with you, a product business is so much easier than a service business. If someone wants a real business training, I would tell them to open up a service business. My main things I learned were in that chiropractic office. I've hired and fired hundreds of people. And so it's more the other way around, man. My experience prior to this allowed this business to actually work smoothly, to be honest with you. I mean, I have, like I said, I coach other business owners now. And, you know, whoever's listening to this, if you had an Amazon business, Amazon is its own world. So I've certainly learned a lot about online sales. And of course, I mean, I wouldn't, be opposed to building one of these again because it's fun. But I love building the business. I think where this business is, it's ready to be taken to the, million or multi-million-dollar level. But for me, like I mentioned, my passion really is in teaching seminars and igniting, inspiring other entrepreneurs. So it is fun to be able to kind of follow your passion. And I love saying that I did this now,
Yeah, that's some great points. I know you say the business is very hands-off and doesn't require much work, but was there anything that you tried that didn't really work?
I mean, for a year and a half, yes, every single day. I mean, I could go, the list goes on. I mean, I knew nothing about online sales. So I tried multiple products. Like I told you, I launched 60 products. It's now 27. So 32, 33 products or whatever it is, or 23 products, sorry. So I guess 23 times I spent a lot of money. It didn't work out. Everything from sponsored ads, everything from Facebook ads. Right now, this entire account, I do no launching, no Facebook ads, no outside traffic. It's not needed. I only use Amazon PPC. So if I knew that now back then, I would have focused on PPC only.
Okay, that's great insights for a prospective buyer to know that. So the majority of traffic comes from Amazon PPC. And is that all you do in terms of marketing now?
Yeah, that's all that's needed. And there's a reason why. I track the statistics on this. So here's the game that most Amazon I found in my world. I've got a lot of friends who are in Amazon business. Here's the game that everyone plays. Ranking. Let me make sure I keep my ranking up. But no one's watching profit. So what I found was you can certainly get ranking by launching Facebook ads. The problem is once those Facebook ads are done, the product drops back down and you got to keep doing it. I found that I have more control and stability by focusing on PPC. Amazon really, I'm going to tell you, I don't know when we'll say this, but I think Amazon gives people who run their ads consistently, I think it gives them more love. I know a lot of people have different theories in this, but I've actually tested it out. It wasn't profitable for me to launch via Facebook and watch this up and down. So I actually watched to see you might be more profitable at position 5 on page 1 instead of position 1. So I'm interested in profit, not ranking. And when you look at it from that perspective, what's profitable is using Amazon PPC. Wallet draining was the endless doing ads from elsewhere and trying to keep your ranking up and play the ranking game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fair judgment. So I know you've touched on this before. If you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And by the way, yeah, I'm not in a rush to sell this thing because it doesn't require me much time. And I kind of, frankly, it's fun. I love it. The next phase would be to go through for a year and a half. I launched 60 products. And like I said, at this point, over the last year, I basically trimmed the fat. Anything was under 30% profitability, I started cutting out. Anything that caused me a lot of time, I cut out. So the next phase, I've got some amazing contacts that source my products. The next phase really would be launching the next set of products. And that's fun, easy to do, so that would be it.
Absolutely, yeah, that makes total sense. So you mentioned that you work full day Monday and a morning Tuesday. What's the most type of work that you do in those days?
Amazon PPC. That is the main thing I do on Monday. Monday is PPC all day. And like I told you, focus, I think, is key in business. So get good at one thing at a time. Many people try to be good at 10 things and they suck at all 10. They're half-ass all 10. So I found PPC. I got very good at that. I'm able to shift rank, shift profitability, make minute changes through my ads. And I'm doing something that no one else is doing. I can tell you that. And it's totally legit. It's nothing, just ads. But I'll give you a hint. It has to do with fine-tuning the keywords. And the keywords you choose make a huge difference. I actually look to see, you might think a keyword is great, but for that keyword, you're 10% profitable. So what's the point in ranking for that keyword? And most people aren't looking at that. So I choose to rank for the keywords that give me at least 28 to 30% profitability. That's the difference, is I'm not looking at ranking, I'm looking at profit. So that's kind of my answer to that. I mean, basically Amazon PPC on Monday. Tuesday morning, I used a 3PL shipping place over in California. I found it to be not worth it. Well, if someone's running an Amazon business and you have one, you'll see in the last year, prices have just skyrocketed for storage. So I removed all of my products and I put them in just a basic Cube Smart storage unit. And once or twice a month, I go over there and can hire someone to go over there with a truck, put labels on it, send it to UPS, which goes into Amazon. So that's what I do on Tuesdays. Is I track my products in Amazon if something needs to be sent in, and I also tracked what needs to be ordered from China. I created an Excel spreadsheet to track my products to do that. I didn't trust the other systems that say they do that. So I just produced my own, and that's what I do on Tuesday morning. And that's really key, man. You watch those ads and make sure I'm 30% profitable. And then you need to watch your inventory. Like, for example, I have a few products that are just crushing it right now. Like when I say, we talked about, you mentioned, I'm glad you're continuing to do good business. I'm doing better now during the COVID. And products will just take off with no reason at all. So I have products that took off. And so I've actually resent in products 3 times this month, which is unheard of. I usually do it once or twice. That's why you've got to watch every Tuesday, once a week, you've got to watch your sales, because all of a sudden you're running out of inventory. And you also don't want to send in too much inventory. Sending too much inventory in cuts into your profit.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's some great insights. Sure, prospective buyer will be glad to hear that. So on that note, what do you think are the biggest risks with this site that a buyer should be aware of?
Honestly, their lack of experience. If someone's listening to this, I would assume they've already run an Amazon business. I have a few friends of mine who are entrepreneurs. They heard I was selling my business and they immediately said, hey, can I buy it? And I said, I don't want to sell it to you. And they're like, why not? Because you don't have experience in Amazon. So if someone doesn't have experience in Amazon, either they need to hire me or someone. Honestly, they would need to hire me because this account is profitable. You hire someone else, they're going to drive you into the ground. But if they don't understand Amazon, they would need coaching. And, that's something, I've done with other business owners. If you do understand Amazon, you already know the risk to an Amazon business. I don't think I need to point them out. You know what I mean? It's just, if you don't, then like I said, if you haven't run a business on Amazon, I guess the risk is you're on the world's largest platform, but that platform can go away. But there's no more risk or reward than any other business, except you do have a freedom of time. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So on that note, you would say that the main skills and requirements that someone would need would be to understand Amazon.
Yeah, like I said, if that question is interesting, because if someone is looking at this and already has an Amazon business, they already know the risks of Amazon. I mean, Amazon could close tomorrow. Probably not likely, but that's the risks versus, for example, you have a service business. I've got more control of my patients. I think one of the risks, this is just Amazon in general, is you don't have your customer email list. I don't know all of my people who buy my products. I like that. I don't want to be answering customer service right now, but people also could see that as a risk, So I don't really need to have my customer service email. But like I said, if someone hasn't run an Amazon business, you spend a lot of money making dumb mistakes. And I'm speaking for myself. I mean, I spent probably $60,000 to learn. And I don't mean through coaching. I mean through making mistakes to figure out how to do it wrong, therefore how to do it right. So that's something I'd be open to too. If someone was, that'd be a separate agreement. But yeah, you're very risky if you haven't already run this before.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a real honest answer. So on the other side of the coin, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this business is worth buying?
Well, let's see. Obviously, besides everything we said, I'll just recap. When you talk to other Amazon business owners and they say, I sell $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month, there should be one question you ask them. What's your profit? Because people say that, and I can tell you, they may be selling $50,000, $60,000 and their expenses are $50,000, $60,000. This account, I float anywhere from 28% to 33% profitability, and it's profitable. You don't have customer service, and people that I've mentioned about selling this business that told you, the business owners, friends of mine, they were so excited because they look at it as passive income. It just about is. It's not technically because you're still working a day and a half a week, but it's pretty damn passive, man. You can run it from anywhere. I've already got the connections that are in place. And this business has, like you said, standard operating procedure and checklist. I mean, who else has done that? You buy another business and it's going to be, basically me figure out what the guy did before me. So that's it. It's pretty awesome business.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. So regarding the sale of the business, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, non-compete for those products. Absolutely. I can't say I won't build, another within a different niche, but for sure, of course, I wouldn't expect someone to not want that. I would want that if I was buying the business.
Absolutely. Great. And how much support are you willing to offer the buyers? Are you going for the standard 30 days of email and Skype support?
Yeah, absolutely. And after that, I'm also open to paid coaching if you guys want, because like I said, the PPC method I'm doing is no one's doing it. And when I say that, I know everyone says that, but no one's doing it. Like I said, Black Hat, it's legit. It's just I'm playing the profit game, not playing the ranking game. That's all I'll say. So,
absolutely, that's great. So, are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
At this point in my business career, I'm not open to an earnout. My last business, a chiropractic office, I had 2 opportunities to do an earnout and make 4 times the amount. For those fellow business owners listening in, the risks of that. I'm not selling this because I need the money. I'm selling this because I'm going to put my attention and time on the second business I have. So whoever would like to buy this, it will need to be a 100% buyout.
Okay, absolutely. That's a great reason. And so, yeah, brilliant. I mean, well, thank you very much for your time, Cody, and it's been great talking to you.
You too. Thanks a lot.
All right, everyone, thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 47726. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.